Hey friends, welcome to day 6 of this beginner's fertility yoga series. Today I'd like to invite you to show up to this practice with no expectations. The more we start to practice yoga and the more we start to enjoy it and get into it, the more expectations we bring to the mat. So I know for me, someone who's been practicing and teaching for over 10 years, I now come to my mat with some expectations about what I'm going to get from the practice, which in some ways is a good thing because I never really feel put off by anything that happens on the mat and I know how to get into my body and into my practice quite quickly. But it can also mean that I'm shaping my experience rather than just allowing it to be. So if you're a beginner, you definitely have an advantage today because it's much easier to come to your mat and just let it flow if you don't have years and years of experience. If you have been practicing for a long time, your practice will actually be letting go of those expectations and just letting today's practice be whatever it needs to be. Let's get going. So I just want you to take a comfortable seat. You can be cross-legged, you can be up on a cushion, whatever feels good for you. I'm just going to take some circles through the pelvis. Always a nice way to start. So just let the belly be nice and soft. Until we move into anything that involves strength, we don't really need to brace the belly, so just let it hang out. Maybe you've started to notice that you brace the belly naturally. Some of us were taught as children to hold the belly in, which I understand aesthetically might make you look better, but unfortunately it means that those abdominal organs feel a little bit squished. So we really want to encourage the body just to be soft, the belly soft and relaxed, unless of course we're doing some sort of movement that requires that gripping and holding to support our body and to protect our body. So I want you to breathe deeply into that low belly. Good. Coming back to center. I'm going to come up and over, come into our cat-cow. Just doing a few rounds of this slowly in and out through the nose. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Let's bring the left foot forward, come into a low lunge. I just want you to explore what this feels like in your body. So lean forward. Rock from side to side. Notice where there's space. Notice where there's tension. And then leave the right hand grounded. Inhale the left arm up. And then exhale, wrap it around the leg. Inhale as you move up. Exhale as you wrap. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Take a seat all the way back. Sit down. Find length through the spine. And just sit here without expectation, without needing to rush to the next thing. Just be here. If you'd like a little more, you can start to lean forward, but you don't have to. Good. Slowly walk the hands forward. I want you to step that front foot all the way back. So bring the knees underneath the hips, bring the shoulders over the hands, and we're just going to exhale, come down, and then inhale, press it back. Take a seat back towards the heel, so maybe you take the knees wide, child's pose, rest here. Creep the hands all the way to one side. Bring the right hand on top of the left and then soften back in. And then creep the hands all the way to the right. Left hand on top of the right this time. Softening in. Let yourself just be here in this pose without thinking of where we're going, without planning what you'll do after this class. See if you can just be here without expectation. Good, slowly come up. We step the left leg forward this time, coming to that exploration of that low lunge. So just moving around. Good, and then we leave the left hand grounded as the right inhales up to the sky, and then exhale wraps around that front leg, squeezing it in. Inhale, lift up, so twisting through the spine, and then exhale, wrapping it in. Inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, exhale. Plant both hands down, step that front foot all the way back. We come back to that plank position once again. You can skip lowering down if it was too hard last time. Otherwise, exhale the chest to the floor. Press it back on the inhale. Child's pose is where we're headed. Rest the forehead down. Full deep breaths here. Bring the palms together and bring them above the head. You might scooch the elbows a little further forward, stretching further into the triceps. And breathe into any spaces of tension, imagining the breath, releasing that tension, softening that space. Releasing the hands, coming on up to a high kneel. So bring the knees underneath the hips. Bring the hands onto the low back. So we're moving into our camel pose, and I want you to engage through the legs so the legs feel like they're squeezing together. And what this does is it squeezes through the glutes, and it's going to protect your body as you open up. There's a gentle engagement through the core as you zip the body up, and gently let the head and neck fall behind you. As you exhale, slowly take a seat back down. Come back to your child's pose, rest the forehead down. Let's come up again. So this time you have the choice. You can either bring the hands onto the low back, just as we did earlier, or you can reach one hand or both hands down towards the heels. What I want you to do is be really cautious of the back. I don't want you to twist out. We're going to lean back this way and use the core engagement to get us there. If we're struggling, if it's too much, hands are on the low back supporting here. If the feet feel too far away, you can tuck the toes under and just bring them up a little bit higher to make this a little bit easier. So if you're working with one hand, we're engaging through the core, squeezing the inner thighs in, reaching back. One hand is here. Two hands, reach the other heel. Head and neck rest behind you. As you come out, Engage. Lift up and out. Roll it on down. Child's pose is your counter pose here. Release through the back. Release through the belly. Go back into soft belly. Good. Come on up. We have one more round of our camel pose. So if you did one side, you're going to come to the opposite side because I don't want to leave you off balance. If you're just staying with hands on low back, perfect. That's where you stay. If you want to come into the full camel pose this time, remember the core does the work and we keep the spine nice and straight. We don't twist to the side on the way out. When you're ready to reaching back. Releasing out when you're ready to. Coming to your child's pose to reset. Camel can be quite intense, so give yourself the time you need afterwards to rest. Good. Come on up. Coming back to our hands and knees. So set up here. This time we want to be strong through the core. So this is an example of where we want our core to engage because it's going to support our body to do the work. I'm going to lift the left leg up behind us. Take the right arm out and just feel balanced here. So press through that back foot to reach through the hand. Option to stay here or the hand and foot find each other. Press the foot into the hand and open through the heart. Gently release it down. Well done. Let's cat-cow to release. Lift the tail, lift the head. Exhale, breathe it out. Good. Return the spine to neutral, engage that core. Right foot this time presses back. Get balanced first, then lift the left arm forward. Stay here if you want. Find the foot with the hand if that felt good on the opposite side. Remember, our bodies often aren't equal. It may not feel the same on both sides, but that's okay. Keep breathing. Good. Release it down. Let's cat-cow to release out through the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Step that left knee forward, stretch the right out behind. Soften on down. Let's come into our pigeon. So if this is too much for your hips, you want cushions or rolled blankets or something under this side that will just help you to prop up a little bit more and feel like the hip opening is not so intense. If you're able to, soften on down, let the head and neck relax. Just let your breathing slow here. Remember, no expectations. Just let yourself be in this pose, noticing the sensations, noticing the breath. Slowly release the hands back up. Step yourself back. Opposite knee forwards. Stretch the back leg out. Change the props if you need them, just like you did on the other side, and then soften down. allowing yourself to soften and relax here. When you first do pigeon, you might be thinking, how is that relaxing? But the more you practice this pose, the more open and comfortable the hips become here. And you can really rest here. So at the moment, if you're using props, that's great because you'll still be able to rest. They'll keep you up so that the hips aren't hurting. You'll be able to feel the stretch, but nothing too intense. So don't shy away from props. They are your savior, especially when you're first starting out. Good. Slowly come on up. Bring that back leg around. Just taking a few shoulder rolls if that feels good. Maybe stretching out the neck a little. And then bringing the hands to heart. Thank you again for being here. That is day 6 of our Beginners Fertility Yoga series done. We have one more day left together tomorrow. Make sure that you're subscribed so you can join us for that practice. And if you would like specific yoga classes for the different stages of the cycle, remember all of these classes are more general and allow you to practice whether you're in the 2-week wait or you're pre-ovulation or whether you suspect you might be pregnant. So if you would like those more specific classes that tailor to the different stages of the cycle to really maximize fertility, I'll have those linked below. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.